The sky shattered on a Tuesday. Major Eleanor L. Chen was halfway through her morning coffee when the emergency klaxons blared across Joint Base Andrews. Her mug shattered on the floor as she bolted upright, years of military training kicking in before conscious thought could catch up. She was already running toward the command center when her secure phone buzzed. "Chun," she barked. "Major, this is General Winters. Report to Strackham immediately. This is not a drill." The line went dead. Elle sprinted faster, her heart hammering against her ribs. In 10 years of service, including 2 tours in contested zones, she'd never heard that particular edge in the general's voice. It was the sound of a man who had seen the unthinkable. The Strategic Command Center buzzed with controlled chaos when she arrived. Officers and analysts moved with urgent purpose between monitoring stations. On the massive central display, a swarm of unidentified objects decelerated from impossible speeds as they entered Earth's atmosphere. Dozens of them. No, hundreds. "Major Chen reporting, sir," she announced, coming to attention before General Winters. The general's weathered face looked a decade older than it had yesterday. "At ease, Major. As of 0600 hours, we are facing a confirmed extraterrestrial incursion." Elle's training kept her expression neutral, but her mind reeled. First contact. After decades of searching the stars, they had finally arrived. Not with a message of peace, but with what looked unmistakably like an invasion force. The objects appeared from beyond lunar orbit 40 minutes ago. Winters continued. "They have breached our atmosphere and are deploying smaller craft. We have lost communication with multiple military installations worldwide. The President has authorized DEFCON 1. Our response, sir? Everything we have got." But Winters hesitated, the momentary crack in his professional demeanor more terrifying than the alien ships on the screen. "Our weapons are having minimal effect. We need to understand what we are dealing with, and fast. Your background in xenobiology and military strategy is why you are here." El Nadif. Before joining the Air Force, she'd been on the fast track for a PhD in theoretical xenobiology at MIT. Most had considered it a waste of taxpayer dollars. Until today. "Permission to assemble a response team, sir?" "Granted. You will report directly to me. Whatever resources you need." "Thank you, sir. I will need Dr. Sanjay Kapoor from DARPA, Lieutenant Colonel Washington for tactical, and civilian consultant Marcus Reed." Winters raised an eyebrow at the last name. "Reed? The conspiracy theorist, the xenoanthropologist, sir. His theories on potential alien social structures have been peer-reviewed and published in respectable journals. And if anyone's been thinking about how to fight aliens longer than the rest of us, it's Reed." "Fine. Anyone else?" "El Hesitative." "Dr. Elise Harper, sir, from the CDC. A virologist? You think this is biological? I think we need to consider all possibilities, sir, especially if conventional weapons aren't working." Winters nodded grimly. "Make it happen. Your team has access to everything. I need options on my desk in 6 hours." As Elle left to assemble her team, she glanced back at the main display. The alien crafts had deployed to major population centers on every continent. Footage from news helicopters showed sleek, silvery vessels hovering over panicked cities. So far, they were just watching, but Elle knew better than most. Observation preceded action, and whatever these visitors wanted, they hadn't come in peace. 72 hours later, they are hurting us, Marcus Reed said, his fingers flying over a holographic display in the underground bunker that had become the team's base of operations. Every aggressive action they take is designed to move population centers toward these convergence points. Elle studied the map, noting the patterns in the alien attacks. 3 days of sporadic, seemingly random destruction had left cities in ruins, but the civilian death toll was surprisingly low. The aliens used precise, tactical strikes that crippled infrastructure and military capabilities, but left escape routes open. "It's almost like they are," Elle started. "Preserving us," Dr. Harper finished. The virologist hadn't slept in days, her eyes rimmed with red as she pored over biological samples collected from sites of alien contact. Like ranchers moving cattle, Lieutenant Colonel Washington, a mountain of a man with a tactical mind as sharp as his physique, grunted in agreement. Makes sense if they want resources. Humans could be useful labor. Dr. Kapoor, their weapons specialist, shook his head. A civilization advanced enough for interstellar travel wouldn't need manual labor. They'd have automated everything centuries ago. Elle felt a cold certainty settling in her gut. Unless the resource they want is humans. The room fell silent. Major Chen, a communications officer, interrupted from the doorway. General Winters needs you upstairs. The aliens have sent a message. Hearts pounding, the team followed Elle to the command center. On the main screen, a figure that approximated human form but was clearly not human stood against a sterile background. Its skin was pale gray, with an elongated skull housing enormous black eyes. When it spoke, its thin lips barely moved, but perfect English emanated from a device at what passed for its throat. People of Earth, the aliens said, we are the Arxer. We come not as conquerors, but as liberators. Your planet has been infested by parasites for millennia, entities that control your leaders, manipulate your societies, and harvest your species. We have come to eradicate this plague and free humanity. Murmurs swept through the command center. Elle exchanged glances with Reed, whose eyes had widened with vindication and terror. The entities you know as the Shimmers infiltrated your world centuries ago, the Arxer continued. They hide among you, wearing human forms, occupying positions of power. They feed on your fear, your conflict, your suffering. We have tracked them across 12 star systems, where they have decimated intelligent life. You are their latest farm, but we will break the cycle. The screen shifted to imagery of what looked like translucent, jellyfish-like creatures attaching to human hosts, then seemingly disappearing into them. Trust no one in authority. The Shimmers control your governments, your militaries, your corporations. We will eliminate them, but collateral damage is inevitable. Those who wish to survive should proceed to the sanctuary zones we have established. We regret the destruction we have caused, but it was necessary to disrupt Shimmer control systems while minimizing human casualties. The transmission ended, leaving stunned silence. General Winters was first to recover. Obviously propaganda. They're trying to turn us against each other while they pick us off. Elle studied the general's face carefully. Was that a flicker of something inhuman behind his eyes, or just her imagination now primed to see monsters everywhere? Sir, she said carefully, we should investigate these claims before dismissing them. There's nothing to investigate. Major, Winters snapped. These aliens attack us, then claim they're saving us from some invisible enemy? It's the oldest divide and conquer strategy in the book. Dr. Harper stepped forward. Actually, sir, there may be something to it. I have found anomalies in tissue samples from government officials killed in the first wave of attacks. Something non-human at the cellular level that I can't identify. The general's face hardened. That's enough, doctor. This is clearly alien biological warfare designed to make us paranoid. He turned to the communications officer. Send out orders to all remaining military units. Full assault on all alien craft. No consideration of this sanctuary nonsense. Elle exchanged glances with her team. Something wasn't right. Sir, she said, perhaps we should— That was an order, Major, Winters barked. Dismissed. All of you, back to your stations. As they filed out, Lieutenant Colonel Washington whispered, something's off. Winters would never order a suicidal attack like that. We have seen what happens when we engage directly. El nadie slowly. We need to confirm these Shimmer claims quickly and quietly. Reed looked grim. If they are real, and they have been here for centuries, they will be everywhere, including here, Elle said, looking back at the command center where Winters was issuing orders that would send thousands of soldiers to certain death. We need to go dark. Now, Dr. Harper's makeshift lab was cramped but secure, hidden in a maintenance sublevel of the bunker complex. The team had gone off-grid 12 hours ago, officially listed as missing after a structural collapse in Sector 7, a fiction created by Washington's trusted engineering corps. I have been comparing tissue samples, Harper explained, gesturing to her microscope. These are from civilians in the areas first attacked by the aliens, the Arxer, and these are from military and government officials who died in the same attacks. Elle peered through the microscope. The civilian samples looked like normal human tissue. The others contained something else, nearly translucent filaments threaded through the cells like a web. What am I looking at? Something that shouldn't exist, Harper said. These filaments act like a neural network, but they are not human. They have integrated with the host's nervous system so completely that they can control everything, thoughts, emotions, actions. The host wouldn't even know. Reed leaned against the wall, his face ashen. Just like in my research, parasitic consciousness entities that subsume the host's identity while maintaining perfect cover. How widespread could this be? Washington asked. Kapoor, who had been analyzing data on a tablet, looked up grimly. I have been running pattern recognition on global response protocols since the invasion began. Military and government actions have been inconsistent with established contingencies, almost as if they are deliberately making us vulnerable. Elle finished. But how do we know who's infected and who isn't? Harper pointed to another device humming in the corner. I have modified this scanner to detect the neural filaments. It's crude, but it should work at close range. El Nadif, test us first. One by one, they submitted to the scan. All clear. The relief was palpable, but short-lived. We need to scan General Winters, Elle said. And if he's compromised, we will need proof to convince others. Washington finished. Hard evidence that can't be disputed. And a plan to fight back, Kapoor added. Against both threats. Elle squared her shoulders. Let's move. We have 6 hours before Winters launches the counterattack. Infiltrating the general's quarters required all of Washington's security expertise and Kapoor's technical skills. They had one chance, and if Winters was still human, their careers were over. If he wasn't, the general was alone, reviewing battle plans when they entered. He looked up, surprised but not alarmed. Not yet. Major Chen, I thought you were in Sector 7. Apologies for the confusion, sir, Elle said smoothly. We have made a breakthrough and needed to report directly. She nodded to Harper, who activated the scanner hidden in her medical kit. The device hummed softly as it worked. What kind of breakthrough? Winters asked, his eyes narrowing slightly. We have found a vulnerability in the alien ships, sir, Kapoor improvised. A frequency that disrupts their navigation systems. The scanner beeped. Harper's face drained of color as she looked at the readout. Winters noticed. His expression changed, subtle but unmistakable. Something inhuman flickered behind his eyes. Give me that device, doctor, he said, his voice suddenly different, harder, with an underlying harmonic that hadn't been there before. Elle moved fast, drawing her sidearm. Don't move, sir. Major Chen, the thing wearing Winters' face, said calmly. You are confused. The alien transmissions have affected your judgment. We have seen the evidence, Elle replied. The neural filaments. You are not human anymore. The general, or what controlled him, smiled thinly. We have been humanity's shepherds for millennia. Everything you have achieved has been under our guidance. Guidance? Reed spat. You have been farming us, feeding off our suffering. We provide purpose, Winters said. Without conflict, without fear, humans stagnate. We cultivate the conditions for your growth while harvesting what we need. It's symbiotic. It's parasitic, Harper countered. Winters sighed. The Arxer have poisoned your minds. They are genocidal purists who destroy any species that accepts symbiosis. They have wiped out dozens of civilizations in their crusade. His expression hardened. I can't allow you to jeopardize humanity's future. His hand moved toward a console. Washington reacted instantly, tackling the general with precision that belied his size. They struggled briefly before Washington pinned him. "Check him," L ordered. Harper approached with a medical kit and injected Winters with a sedative. As he lost consciousness, something happened. His skin rippled, and for a brief moment, they glimpsed the creature beneath. Translucent tendrils retracted from the general's brain, pulsing with internal light. "My God," Kapoor whispered. Harper quickly collected a sample. "We need to find a way to detect these things more efficiently and at a distance. And we need to warn people about both threats," L added. "The Shimmers and the Arxer. Neither of them has humanity's best interests at heart." Reed nodded grimly. "The Arxer may be telling partial truths about the Shimmers, but their sanctuaries feel like internment camps, trading one farm for another." Elle looked at her team. Possibly the only free humans with the knowledge to fight back against two vastly superior forces. "Humanity needs a third option," she said, "and we're going to give it to them." Elle stood before the hastily assembled broadcast equipment in their new hideout, an abandoned communication station that Kapoor had retrofitted to transmit globally. Harper had worked tirelessly to develop a handheld shimmer detector, while Reed and Washington coordinated with uninfected military and civilian leaders they'd managed to identify. "Are we ready?" Elle asked. Kapoor nodded from behind the camera. "Broadcasting in 3, 2, 1. The red light blinked on. Elle took a deep breath. "My name is Major Eleanor Chen, United States Air Force. What I'm about to tell you will sound impossible, but I ask you to listen carefully. Humanity's survival depends on it. The aliens who arrived 5 days ago call themselves the Arxer. They claim to be liberating us from parasitic entities they call Shimmers. After extensive investigation, we have confirmed these Shimmers exist and have infiltrated our highest levels of government and military worldwide." Elle held up Harper's scanner. "This device can detect shimmer neural filaments in infected humans. We are broadcasting the specifications now on all frequencies. They can be constructed from standard medical equipment. However, the Arxer are not our saviors. Their sanctuaries are processing centers. We have evidence they have done this before. Eliminate the Shimmers only to subjugate the liberated species themselves." She leaned closer to the camera. "Humanity is caught between two invaders. One that's been manipulating us from within for centuries, and another that wants to save us for their own purposes. Neither sees us as equals. Both see us as resources, but they have made a critical mistake. They have underestimated us." I'll outline their plan. A global resistance network utilizing Harper's detection technology to identify and neutralize Shimmer-infected leaders without killing the hosts, while simultaneously developing Kapoor's frequency disruptors to keep Arxer ships at bay. The Shimmers have kept us divided for centuries, turning nation against nation to cultivate the fear they feed on. The Arxer think we will choose safety over freedom. Both are wrong about human nature. When faced with extinction, we will not go quietly. We will not surrender to either master. She ended the broadcast with coordinates for secure communication channels and resistance hubs worldwide. "The war for Earth isn't between aliens," she concluded. "It's between those who would control humanity and humanity itself. And we have been preparing for this fight our entire existence." 3 months later, Elle ducked as debris rained down from the shattered Arxer ship, crashing into the Hudson River. All around Manhattan, similar scenes played out as the aliens' once unstoppable fleet faltered against humanity's improvised weapons. Kapoor's harmonic disruptors, now mounted on everything from military jets to civilian trucks, tore through their navigation systems, while Harper's biological countermeasures neutralized the Shimmer neural networks without harming their human hosts. "Eastern seaboard is nearly clear," Washington reported through her comms. "Arxer retreating from population centers worldwide. Shimmer detection has reached 89% of identified hosts. El Nadid Grimli. The past months have been brutal, billions dead, cities in ruins. But humanity had done what both alien species thought impossible: united against both threats simultaneously. The Shimmers had been embedded in human power structures for so long, they couldn't conceive of humans organizing without hierarchical control. The Arxer, having dealt with Shimmer-controlled species before, expected easy submission from a liberated population. Neither understood the human capacity for adaptation, for righteous defiance against any form of subjugation. "Major," Reed called, pointing skyward. "Look!" A massive Arxer command ship descended through the clouds, larger than any they'd encountered before. Elle's heart sank. Their weapons might not be powerful enough for something that size. Her comm unit crackled. "Chen, this is Kapoor. Are you seeing this?" "Affirmative. Ideas." "Actually, yes. Harper's latest analysis shows the Shimmers can attach to Arxer physiology. They avoid it because the Arxer can detect them, but it's suddenly understood. But our modified Shimmers can't be detected by their systems." "Exactly. The ones we have. Reprogrammed. They are ready." After discovering that separated Shimmer neural filaments could survive and be manipulated in laboratory conditions, Harper had achieved the unthinkable, altering their neural patterns to respond to human control while maintaining their invasive capabilities. "It's risky," Elle said. "If we lose control, it's that or watch that mothership deploy whatever they have been saving for last." Washington cut in. "Tactical assessment says we are out of options." Elle made her decision. Release the modified Shimmers. Target the command ship only. Within minutes, canisters launched from resistance positions throughout the city, arcing toward the hovering behemoth. On contact, they released microscopic payloads of reprogrammed Shimmer neural matter that sought entry points into the ship's hull. For agonizing minutes, nothing happened. Then, the massive vessel shuddered. Its weapons systems powered down. Its engines flared erratically. "It's working," Kapoor breathed through the comm. "The Shimmers are integrating with their neural interfaces." The command ship began broadcasting on all frequencies. A jumble of Arxer language followed by broken English. "You cannot. This violation. Abomination. Patch me in," Elle ordered. When the connection was established, she spoke clearly and firmly. "Arxer Command, this is Major Eleanor Chen of Earth's Unified Defense. Your fleet is compromised. Your options are retreat or destruction." Silence stretched. Then, "Impossible. Humans cannot control. The symbiotes. That's where you made your fundamental error," Elle replied. "Humans have always defined ourselves by doing the impossible. You saw us as primitive because we hadn't achieved your level of technology. The Shimmers saw us as livestock because they could influence our minds. Neither of you understood what makes us human." She looked at her team: Reed, Harper, Washington, Kapoor, each representing the best of humanity: intelligence, adaptability, courage, and unwavering determination. "We don't submit. We don't surrender. We take what tries to destroy us and make it our own. You came to our world uninvited. Now you will leave the same way, or you won't leave at all." The Arxer command ship hovered for one more tense moment. Then its engines engaged, angling upward. Across the planet, the remaining Arxer vessels followed suit, retreating to the stars from which they'd come. Earth had won its freedom, not through superior technology or strength, but through the uniquely human traits that both invaders had dismissed: cooperation across differences, ingenious adaptation of enemy resources, and the absolute refusal to be conquered. 1 year later, the Reconstruction Council convened in the new United Nations headquarters in Geneva, one of the first major structures rebuilt after the war. Representatives from every surviving nation gathered to continue the unprecedented global cooperation that had saved humanity. L, now General Chen, took her place at the council table beside Reed, Harper, Washington, and Kapoor, heroes of the resistance and architects of Earth's defense strategy. "The modified Shimmer technology has been successfully integrated into our early warning system," Harper reported. "Any future incursions, Either Arcser or unmodified shimmers will be detected immediately. And the hosts? Asked the representative for Nigeria. All identified shimmer-infected individuals have been treated, Harper answered. The parasites removed or neutralized. Recovery programs are showing positive results. L nodded, studying the faces around the table. For the first time in recorded history, humanity was truly free. Not just from alien control, but from the artificial divisions the shimmers had cultivated for centuries. Old hatreds had not disappeared overnight, but they had been recognized for what they often were: manipulated conflicts designed to generate the fear and suffering the parasites fed upon. Our deep space monitoring stations are operational, Kapoor added. Any approach, like the Arcsers, will be detected long before they reach our solar system. And our message? Asked the Chinese representative. Reed activated a holographic display showing the massive transmission array constructed in the Sahara, broadcasting continuously on all spectra. A simple warning to any sentient species who might consider Earth a target. We are humanity. We defeated both the Arcser and the Shimmers. We are not to be underestimated. Murmurs of approval circled the table. Elle stood to deliver her report. The integration of recovered Arcser technology has accelerated our scientific development by an estimated century. The first human interstellar vessels will be ready for testing within 5 years. She paused, looking at the faces around her. Former enemies, now allies, diverse in appearance but united in purpose. We paid an unimaginable price for our freedom, she continued. Billions lost, cities destroyed, but we have proven something essential about our species. When faced with extinction, whether through conquest or control, humans don't break. We adapt. We overcome. We turn our invaders' strengths against them. El smiled slightly. The Arcser and the Shimmers both believe they understood us. They thought they could predict our behavior based on other species they'd encountered. They were wrong. What makes humans different? What makes us dangerous isn't our technology or our physical strength. It's our stubborn refusal to accept any fate imposed upon us. The representatives nodded in solemn agreement. The stars are no longer just points of light to wonder about, Elle concluded. They're destinations. And when we reach them, we won't go as conquerors like the Arcser or manipulators like the Shimmers. We will go as humans, carrying the lesson they taught us. Freedom isn't given. It's fought for, again and again, with everything we have. As the council moved to other matters, Elle glanced out the window at the construction crews rebuilding Geneva. Similar scenes played out across every continent. Humanity rising from the ashes stronger and more united than ever before. The sky had shattered on a Tuesday, but humans had put it back together, piece by piece, on their own terms. And now, they were reaching for the stars, not as prey or pawns, but as the species that had faced two ancient cosmic powers and taught them both the same lesson: never underestimate humanity.